Most amazing duck species in the world. The Harlequin duck histrionicus is a small, relatively uncommon sea duck. It gets its English name from characters in Italian comedy that wear masks and have oddly painted costumes. The Harlequin duck is abundant during the breeding season in a few regions within its range, but only in remote areas inaccessible to most people in the Aleutian Islands. Recent population estimates place the Pacific population at 1 million individuals and the Atlantic population at 11,000 breeding pairs. Among the waterfowl of the world, none is more ornately adorned than the male king eider, its black and white plumage accented by a red and orange bill, pearl blue crown, and spring green cheek. Females are a rich marbling of rusty brown and black. King eiders nest in Arctic tundra, both wet and dry, usually not far from water, whether interior lakes or the ocean coast. Common plants in such habitats include purple saxifrage, crowberry, bearberry, Labrador tea, dwarf birch, Arctic willow, pendant grass, and various sedges. The long-tailed duck, formerly known as old squaw, is a medium-sized sea duck that breeds in the tundra and taiga regions of the Arctic and winters along the northern coastlines of the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. It is the only member of its genus Clangula. In all plumages, they have extravagantly long, slender tail feathers. Females and immatures are smudgy brown and white, without the long tail. These prodigious divers can feed as deep as 200 feet, swimming with their wings, catching invertebrates and small fish. The Mandarin duck is a beautifully colored bird with a greenish-black forehead and a purple crest near the back of the head. The sides of the head are creamy white with a chestnut patch below the eyes. The sides of the neck and the cheeks have longer brown feathers. Mandarin ducks are famous for being monogamous, meaning they mate for life. Because of this, the creature has become a symbol of love and fidelity for couples in China, Japan, and Korea. Hooded mergansers are small ducks with a thin bill and a fan-shaped, collapsible crest that makes the head look oversized and oblong. In flight, the wings are thin and the tail is relatively long and rounded. They have dusky brown backs with gray chests and sides. The female has a black upper bill edged with orange. The lower bill is yellow, the eyes are brown and the feet are green. Hooded mergansers are the smallest North American merganser species with a length of 1.3 to 1.6 feet, 41 to 48 centimeters. The pink-eared duck is a small duck with a huge square-tipped gray bill and strongly barred brown flanks. It has a large brown eye patch on a white finely barred face. There is a small pink patch behind the eye. Upper parts are brown, underparts white barred dark brown. The pink-eared duck, Malacarincus membranaceus, is a species of duck found in Australia. It is the only living member of the genus Malacarincus. A closely related, but slightly larger extinct form from New Zealand was described as Scarlet's duck, Malacarincus scarleti. The smew is a small compact diving duck with a delicate bill. The male is white with a black mask and a black back, the female is gray with a reddish-brown head and white cheek. In flight, it shows black and white wings. It is a winter visitor in small numbers from Scandinavia and Russia. During the breeding season, Smew ducks are inhabitants of the northern forest of Europe and Asia from Scandinavia and throughout Siberia. They migrate in winter to the more mild climate of sheltered coasts or along the Baltic and the Black Sea, as well as to large lakes in northern Germany and Europe. The spectacled eider is a medium-sized sea duck measuring an average 53 centimeters in length for males and 50 centimeters in length for females. Adult male breeding plumage is characterized by a white back and a black tail, belly and chest. However, climate change and oil and gas development have drastically reduced their habitat range. As a result, the western Alaskan population of spectacled eiders dropped by 96% between 1957 and 1992. These spectacular birds breed on Alaskan and Russian tundra, where they dabble in shallow water for insects and plant seeds. Then they disappear into the middle of the Bering Sea to spend a dark winter floating among gaps in the sea ice, diving deep underwater for clams and other marine invertebrates. The surf scoter is a large sea duck native to North America. Adult males are almost entirely black with characteristic white patches on the forehead and the nape, and adult females are slightly smaller and browner. This duck is common in winter on both coasts, on Pacific coast, often seen around fishing piers and harbors. The male's strong head pattern earns the species the hunter's nickname of skunkhead coot. When feeding, they usually spring forward and dive with the wings partly opened. White-faced whistling ducks are medium-sized and have a grayish bill and feet, with a bright white face. The rest of the head and back of the neck are blackish-brown, while their body is chestnut-colored. Their broad wings are banded with dark and light brown and black. Unlike most waterfowl, white-faced whistling ducks often perch in branches and are known as tree ducks. When alarmed, these ducks stand straight and freeze. They feed on grass, seeds, and aquatic mollusks. Adult white-faced whistling ducks have a black and white head and a reddish chestnut-brown breast. The Baikal teal, also called the bimaculate duck or squawk duck, is a dabbling duck that breeds in eastern Russia and winters in East Asia. The Baikal teal breeds in eastern Siberia, Russia, and occurs on passage in Mongolia and North Korea. It winters mainly in Japan, South Korea, and mainland China, and it is a rare winter visitor to Taiwan. The Baikal teal inhabits marshes and lakes, streams and rivers, and winters in a variety of freshwater and brackish areas. Hunting was probably the main reason for its original decline and is still a serious threat, particularly as it concentrates in large flocks on wetlands and arable land. However, hunting itself is now thought to be in decline. In China and South Korea, birds are killed by poisoned grain, pesticide poisoning, and pollution from agricultural and household wastes. The wood duck, as its name implies, requires wooded cover for nesting. They prefer swamps and even upland forests close to freshwater wetlands, ponds, creeks, and rivers. This species is common in lowland forested areas with adjacent open water on both sides of the Cascade Crest. Wood ducks have a unique shape among ducks: a boxy, crested head, a thin neck, and a long, broad tail. In flight, they hold their head up high, sometimes bobbing it. Overall, their silhouette shows a skinny neck, long body, thick tail, and short wings. Ruddy ducks are compact, thick-necked waterfowl with seemingly oversized tails that they habitually hold upright. Breeding males are almost cartoonishly bold, with a sky blue bill, shining white cheek patch, and gleaming chestnut body. Male ruddy ducks have blackish caps that contrast with bright white cheeks. In summer, they have rich chestnut bodies with bright blue bills. In winter, they are dull gray-brown above and paler below with dull gray bills. They are excellent swimmers and feed mainly by diving. Occasionally they forage on the surface of the water. Ruddy ducks are shy birds, and if threatened, they usually dive or hide in dense aquatic vegetation. They are migratory in winter in coastal bays and unfrozen lakes and ponds. The northern shoveler, known simply in Britain as the shoveler, is a common and widespread duck. It breeds in northern areas of Europe and across the Palearctic and across most of North America, wintering in southern Europe, the Indian subcontinent, Southeast Asia, Central, the Caribbean, and northern South America. Many northern shovelers migrate from Europe and Central Asia to warmer climes in the winter and then return northwards after the winter is over. The northern shoveler species is highly migratory, and the birds from North America move to South America and Central America for wintering. The North European shoveler birds move southwards up to Africa for wintering. The birds from North Asia move to Indian subcontinent, East Asia, and Southeast Asia for wintering.